Excuse me, would you ladies like to take part in this survey? It doesn't take very long.
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you for stopping. Excuse me, would you like to take part in this survey? It doesn't take very long. Okay, thank you anyway.
Telcom is a research company that says it's better than Burke, better at telling whether commercials really work or not. Telcom parks its van on some street and then tries to lure people inside for tests.
What I'd like you to do is step right into our van and view some television commercials.
No.
We were in a hurry, so I volunteered.
I'd like for you to watch his TV set. That's where you're going to see a short series of some TV commercials.
A chin rest locks my head in position so they can bounce a laser beam off my eyeball while I watch the TV. Every time I move my eye, a camera records the movement on this TV set. It's that white dot that shows exactly where I'm looking. The amount my eyes bounce around shows how excited and interested I am. This amount of movement shows I am interested in this Coke ad. If the dot just sits in the middle of the screen, like it did when I watched this McDonald's ad, that means I'm bored. I apparently am interested in this Tab ad. But interest alone may not sell the product. Telcom President Lee Weinblatt says this ad is not very good at selling Tab.
Do you know she's holding a can of Tab in her hand?
What hand?
That's the answer we got from most of them.
Weinblatt says his eye movement research shows the woman is too sexy. No one even notices Tab, not in her hand or in the guy's hand in this shot. Another problem.
This young lady is thin. And what this commercial is saying is no matter how thin you get, this husband or boyfriend, whatever, is going to be looking at someone else.
Women he tested told him watching the Tab commercial made them feel inferior.
So you're insulting 75% of the audience that buys diet soft drink.
This commercial was threatening to them.
Correct.
Weinblatt took the results of his tests to Coca-Cola, which makes Tab. They did not hire Weinblatt. But soon after, they came out with a different ad, and this time, the woman is dressed. Coke says Weinblatt's testing had nothing to do with the change, but Weinblatt points out that this time, not only is the woman showing less skin, but the can is more noticeable.
Watch what happens when she brings it to her lips. Did you notice that? They looked at the tab.
And even though the men in the ad are again caught looking at the woman,
just before the threat may come like, uh-oh, I can never look like that. Here's Mommy. She's not a threat.
Not a threat because she's a mother with kids. Now, why go to all this trouble? Why not just ask people what they think of a commercial? Because people lie, says Weinblatt, or they don't know what they like. This ad researcher agrees.
That people just don't tell the truth. They want you to think things about them that just aren't true.
To get his information, he measures people's brain waves. He says brain waves are better than eye movement because, after all, if you're going to someone's brain, you're going right to the source. So he puts electrodes on people's heads, and while they watch commercials, he watches their brain waves. These small waves are supposed to mean you're bored, while these bigger ones show a spark of interest or irritation. And they can tell whether the commercial is making you feel or think by whether the stronger waves come from the right or left side of your brain. This commercial, for example, works the right side of your brain. That's the sensual, visual, feeling part. You want to stimulate the right brain, Weinstein says, if you're selling fashion or perfume.
There's more to John Hancock than life insurance.
If you're selling insurance or bank accounts, on the other hand, you want to stimulate the left side of the brain, the logical, thinking part. And commercials using lots of words do that. If an ad causes strong, pleasant brain waves on the appropriate side of your brain, it'll probably sell the product, says Weinstein, though he can't be sure. He is sure some ads won't work.
If you irritate people, they will literally turn you off. The brain waves literally diminish.
He wouldn't name any of these bad ads because he didn't want to embarrass his clients, but he said many are in a category called slice of life. You know the formula. First there's a problem.
Beatrice had warts.
It was right here.
The pressure can give me an awful headache.
Ring around the collar. You've got ring around the collar.
Then, just in time, there's a product with a miracle ingredient that saves the day.
I didn't think it would work, but then I tried it and it worked.
Weinstein says that when he shows people ads like those,
we find that their brains are not responding. They have turned off the message.
It really works. Honest, I have thick pad protection in a thinner pad.
for example, Weinstein tested this ad for us and said it was so bad that the brain waves of his testers resembled the brain waves of people who are asleep. Proof, says Weinstein, that annoying ads don't sell well. But it's strange because those ads are used by the country's biggest advertisers. Are they wasting their money? Many researchers say yes.
These companies are spending millions of dollars on advertising. I would think they must be making advertising that works.
We look at the commercials and we shake our heads and we say we don't even knew that commercial was on the air. In some cases, I'd say they're getting less than 20% of their advertising dollar, and you're talking about billions.
On the other hand, many advertisers say it's the researchers who don't know what they're doing. Sure and Natural and Tab both say those ads you just saw criticized are, in fact, very effective. Critics of ad research say that twisting dials and having electrodes stuck to your head are not the ways you and I watch TV.
He's produced, capturing freshman All-American honors. Utah has a unanimous all-whack pick in Pace Manion.
Plush interior and loads of standard features like power steering and air conditioning. But when you buy an Accord LX here in Connecticut...
Brought to you by Mutual Life, because